so talented.
Right.
So
How long did you train?
Yeah, I trained for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome. Welcome to our Witcher quick non-spoiler review.
No spoilers.
If you want spoilers, if you played the games, if you know about the books, or you just want to watch a cool-ass discussion that's very, very long, watch our spoiler review. Don't watch this one. This one, we're going to go over it very, very quick. We're going to miss some things, so watch that one. But this is for the casuals who want to enjoy the series, and we highly recommend that you go out and see it. So I kind of revealed the way I feel about it. I freaking love it. Big surprise.
Yeah.
Big, huge surprise. I know it. You knew that was coming. Mm-hmm. I love the Witcher series on Netflix. Now, it's not without its flaws.
Yes.
I will say that. I'm not that blind. I'm not that big of a fanboy. Because I will fanboy out over this.
I really
and Henry Cavill, man.
Oh, he killed it.
As Geralt, he fucking kills it. What you have to nail in The Witcher is you have to nail Geralt of Rivia, the White Wolf. He fucking nails it. Not only that, but the fucking sword play in this is so goddamn good. Yeah. It's done, actually helped choreographed by the Night King, the person that plays the Night King in the Game of Thrones series. Anyways. He even used the art sign. Go ahead.
I loved it. I thought it was really good, and I think.
Wait, what?
So I'm a little bit biased. Maybe not as biased as you are, but I did love the games. Familiar with some of the stories. I thought it was really good. I think there was some flaws. I think that they took some interesting. They made some interesting decisions on how they were going to tell the story. Like you have some like weird converging timelines.
Yes.
So there were some problems with that, but I think that
pacing's an issue.
Yeah.
If you're
that
not,
was a big one for me
it's
too.
a information overload.
Well, and the other issue is like we talked about like a little bit that the names in this universe can be very difficult. So it's not Earl and Joe and Bob and Bob the Wizard. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they'll mention a name. You're like, which of the 7 dudes did we already like? I don't know which one that guy one is. Oh, that one. Yeah, because sometimes they mention a name, and you're like, is that the 70-year-old version of that guy or the 8-year-old version, which is also the same?
They look the same.
Which they're the same character, so it's just
names,
like
locations, kingdoms, relationships.
But I loved it. I think that they did a great job telling the story. I thought that I wasn't worried about Yennefer, but turned out that I didn't need to be worried. She killed it. Did a great job. I think Ciri, that actress, did a great job for a 12-year-old version of Ciri. I think it was perfect.
Right. Remember, this is a young version of Ciri. I know the internet was a little in a
I want
tip
this 20-year-old rat like smoky eyes.
Fucking awesome Ciri. It's like, no, man, she's got to go through a character arc.
Yeah.
And in this one, I will admit, though, Ciri is the weakest of the 3 arcs that are going on because... And there's a reason why they told the story in the way they told it. Yes, it still makes it weaker. Yes, it still loses my family members and my friends, minus these guys. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, please just watch. Please, guys, just watch at least through episode 3. You know what? Just watch them all. Because it clicks in
but pay attention
by the end.
Don't be on your phone. Don't be doing anything. You have to pay attention.
Yeah. Maybe rewatch them once. Yeah. Joe, what did you think?
I loved it. My 2 standouts were obviously Geralt and Yennefer.
Yeah.
She killed it.
Yeah. In fact, arguably, this is not Geralt's series. Mm-hmm. It's Yennefer's series.
Yeah, it's her series, yeah.
Yennefer is basically the main character here. And you know what? Makes me a little mad, considering who I'm dressed as, who I wanted to see most of.
We can dress you up as her.
Yennefer.
Yeah, a little dye.
No, that's Joe's job. Okay?
Oh.
Dang.
And you will be...
The unicorn?
Siri.
Or the stuffed horse?
Anyways.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I actually binge-watched it.
All at once?
What?
8 hours. Damn, Joe. I had to break it up.
But
because I was watching it with my family, and they kept going, what? Just
who's that? When are we?
We're in different timelines. Yeah. It's not that complicated to handle. And honestly, there's a reason for it, because the way they adapted the books. You have to understand these books, like The Last Wish, is a collection of short stories. And Sword of Destiny, much the same way. Ciri and Yennefer don't really fit into those until the very end. And what they wanted to show you is all three of the main characters all at once. And so in order to do that, they had to do different timelines. But by doing that, because Ciri doesn't have much until the group gets together and then she's developed, it feels like her storyline stalls. Yeah. And whenever we go back to her, it's like, the forest part with the dryads.
Useless. No point to it.
And, but Yennefer's story, so powerful. Her tragic upbringing, her being sold off to, the academy and stuff like this. And, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, but she has this fantastic transformation into the Yennefer that we know. And Yennefer, you have to get right. If you fuck up Yennefer and you fuck up Geralt, you fuck up the whole series. And by the end, both of them nail it. And the sword play is awesome. Yeah. The CGI is great.
The scenery, the music.
The scenery, the music.
Good
we
stuff.
love the music because it reminds us of the games. I was dancing to the, this shit in Poland. Yeah. And I wonder how this series is going over in Poland. I want to see real Polish people. Tell me, if you're Polish, tell me what you thought of the series, because your opinion matters more, okay? Because I'm serious. This is the lore. This kind of lore, I love it because all these fascinating creatures and monsters you don't normally see in, say, Tolkien. You see a few, but they have their own lore and mythology, and they nail that here. A lot of people say, there's not enough monsters. I counted them. There's like 10 freaking monsters. There was plenty, and they were woven into the story. They have to stay true to the books. They're doing a book adaptation, not a video game adaptation. But you could have probably centered on Geralt a little bit more than they did.
Yeah.
And I just loved it when Henry Cavill was on screen.
Yeah, I think that the action was what I wanted, right? Because we were expecting a lot of sword play, big battles between armies. Some armies didn't like how they were dressed, but it was still worth watching. I think this is something you definitely want to seek out.
Okay. Were there any? What are some of the weakest moments? We tell you everything we like.
Moment. Obviously, we all agree. Pacing.
Pacing was all over the place.
And Trish.
Yeah, Triss Marigold. It's such she
was miscast, but she was such a small part of the. I mean,
she's a big part in the game
right
for
now
sure.
She is, but second season we're probably gonna see more of her. So she has to win me over right now.
Yes, but here's the thing. I want to talk about something I'm not allowed to talk about, and I'll talk about this in the spoilers review too. It's just the beauty kind of thing, the angle. These are very beautiful mages, and they make themselves more beautiful, and so that has to nail it. And and the transformation that Yennefer goes is amazing. Yennefer is absolutely beautiful by the end of the series. Is pushed into the background. She's not that I know Triss Marigold from the video games, redhead. Fucking awesome character design and clothing, and I guess it's more like the books because she really wasn't a huge part of it. But I just wish that they would have buffed up her role, knowing that a bunch of fans.
Because the first time I saw her, I thought that was just a maid in the background. But
Me too.
No, I was like, what?
So that's the only character that we feel wasn't done justice. And whether it was, miscast or whether it was this girl has it in her and we just need to see it in season 2, I don't know. But that one was a major setback. What is another major setback that is also a hilarious setback?
Well,
and deflates the entire.
Alex ruined the Nilfgaards for me because every time I saw him, I was like, oh, goddamn it, here come the nutsack.
Their big fucking scrotum nutsack Nilfgaardian armor. Yeah. Not only did they fuck up the armor, but they helmets are literal fucking dickheads. It's a dickhead and ball sack armor.
Else for me.
He didn't ruin it. The showrunner ruined it. The costume designer, who, by the way, Yennefer's costumes are amazing.
All the mages' costumes.
They pay homage to the video games and the book descriptions. It's fucking awesome. Geralt's costume, straight out of the games, straight out of the books, amazing. They fucked up on the Nilfgaardi. Now, whether that is budgetary concerns and they couldn't get the actual badass-looking black and gold. They say black and gold. There's not black and gold. It's just black and ball sacks. Yeah, there's gold on their fucking banners, but every time this army's marching around, I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm like, these guys, they don't look intimidating, and that is the main thing about the army of the black. They're intimidating, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
So you fucked up there. A whole point negative. And I argued with the showrunner on Twitter about this. We had our spat, and I mentioned that please change the armor. But now after seeing it, there's like no way to change the armor.
They made so many of those.
Yeah, there's so many, and the errors in there. So that really is one of the only weaknesses. That and the way the story is told, the plot line can lose people. You get simultaneous info dumps, but not enough information of the geopolitics and where things are at, so you know who's who and who is interplaying with who. And wait, is the Mages Guild the Brotherhood, or are the female mages different from the male mages? Are they all called the Brotherhood or the Academy? You know, it gets crazy. But you know, the show has its own standout moments, like you know, the Academy scene and what actually happens with the mage initiates in that. That's a really cool scene. And then, of course, it wraps up in a final climactic battle that's worth the price of admission. The battle of Sodden Hill, I think. Just worth it. Stick it through to the end, guys. Let's go with our final ratings to make this a short video so you can watch our full spoiler review in just a bit.
I'm going to give this an 8.
Really?
Yeah.
I was expecting a 7. Why an 8, Joe? Because of Henry Cavill's bathtub scene? Could it have been the chesticles?
No. It might be a little bit biased. Yeah, he did a great job. He nailed the character.
This is the definitive Geralt for people who haven't played the games, because, you know, obviously it does seem like he's kind of doing a Geralt impression from the game.
Spot on.
But it's
spot on. It's so good.
Fuck. Yeah.
Nailed it.
You like those grunts?
Fuck. Fuck.
Probably wore out the pause button on his PlayStation when he's.
I heard that he wore out his armor 4 times because his muscles were so big. Yeah. That doesn't make much sense because it's leather, but maybe the straps would just break every time he flexed.
One day I'll be that big. Anyways, Yennefer, man,
beautiful, awesome
character arc was amazing. Like every time she was on scene, I was like glued. She did a perfect job. Trish lost me, and like I said, the pacing was kind of off. But I love the monsters. Whenever they were on screen, they did a great job with the CGI and the scenery.
Okay.
I'm also going to go with an 8. I think they told from the start to finish, there was like a cohesive story. There was a little messing up along the way as far as like how they paced it out and like the things going back and going like, who the hell are all these things?
I was sure you were going to be the hardest on it.
I mean, there were some parts that I didn't agree with, but I think that they accomplished what they set out to do. They did the characters that I know and love justice for the most part, and you know, the action was good. I mean, it did lose some points here and there for like the way they told the story and different things that I don't think were perfect. But I really enjoyed it. But I think this shows so much promise that I cannot wait for next season, because this reminds me of a lot of great other TV where the first season they're just kind of seeing what works, but there's some standout things like the leads are all amazing. I think the lore and the background story is amazing, and if they continue to flesh that out, this could be just something I enjoy watching year after year.
Definitely, there's a lot of potential for a lot of seasons. Even the showrunner says I could write 8 seasons, 7 seasons of
Bring
this.
them on.
And there's plenty of material. There's like 8 books.
Don't ruin
maybe 9 if you count. No, I think there's like 8 solid ones. And so it for me, it's going to be the critic or the fan. 8 out of 10. Because, you know, I could see some people giving this a 7.
Yeah.
Some of my family members were so lost, and I could tell that they were like glass eye and a 6. But by the end, it all clicked together, and it was so worth it. And they were saying, wow, that was great by the end. And it's like, I wish they would have told it different. So maybe if they hadn't have rushed the 3 simultaneous storylines and we just stuck with Geralt for a while, and then maybe Yennefer is season 2, you know, if they had more time. But you know what? I understand the need to come out swinging, to come out and hit as hard as you possibly can, and they felt like they needed all 3 character arcs right there. And it worked because, honestly, it got a second season. The hype for it is high, and I think that like Alex says, this could be TNG. You know, the Next Generation Star Trek Season 1.
Yeah, they miss a lot.
And then it gets real good, you know, right?
For a long time, it's real good.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping that that will be the similar situation here, guys. The Witcher on Netflix. We love it. We support it. It has its flaws, but you can get over those flaws quite easily because of the performances and the character arcs and the short stories, honestly, by the author. Just a fantastic little fun little fairy tale fantasy of this great universe and mythos of The Witcher. Done well here on Netflix. 8 out of 10. And if you want, we're going to expand. We're going to go through each and every episode. We're going to talk about the monsters and where they could go with Season 2 in our spoilers review. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.